This country has more lakes than people in many towns. Over 70% of its land is covered in forest. And its water is so clean you can drink straight from many of its lakes and rivers. These are just a few glimpses of what Mother Nature has crafted in Finland. So join us on this journey to explore the amazing natural wonders of the land of 1,000 lakes. Before we unpack our journey through the amazing natural landscapes of Finland, let's explore a few fascinating facts about its nature. Finland has more lakes than any other country in the world. Yes, you heard that right. There are about 188,000 lakes. In some towns, there are even more lakes than people. That's why Finland is often called the land of 1,000 lakes. A serious understatement. Many of these remote lakes and streams, especially in the north and east, are so clean you can drink straight from them without any treatment, thanks to low population density and strict environmental protections. Over 70% of Finland is covered in forest, making it the most forested country in Europe by percentage. These vast woodlands are mostly boreal forests, filled with pine, spruce, and birch trees. Finland is also a major stopover for millions of migratory birds, with species traveling from as far as Africa and southern Europe to pass through or breed in its rich network of wetlands and coastal archipelagos. Much of Finland is still rebounding from the Ice Age. Hard to believe, but true, the land is literally rising about 8 millimeters per year in a process called postglacial rebound. As the massive glaciers that once covered the region melted away, the Earth's crust began to slowly lift. Entire new islands have formed in the last few centuries, and the shape of Finland's coastline is still changing today. Now, let's dive in and discover some of the most incredible and iconic natural wonders this nation has to offer. Nuuksio National Park. A short bus ride from Helsinki lies a vast wilderness where flying squirrels soar between treetops and ancient cliffs overlook quiet forest lakes. Welcome to Nuuksio National Park, a green sanctuary in southern Finland that feels worlds away from urban life. Established in 1994, Nuuksio protects part of Finland's rare southern boreal forest, an ecosystem under pressure from urban development. Here, you'll find a mosaic of lakes, bogs, gorges, and spruce-covered hills, ideal habitats for endangered species like the Siberian flying squirrel, which has become something of a mascot for the park. Archaeological evidence indicates human activity in Nuuksio dating back to the Stone Age, with ancient hearths and tools discovered in the area. In fact, the very name Nuuksio comes from a Sami word nuks, meaning a hill or a high place. The park is also home to the Finnish nature center Haltia, which showcases the biodiversity of all Finland's national parks under one roof. With its proximity to the capital, Nuuksio plays an important role in environmental education, offering school programs and interpretive trails that teach about geology, wildlife, and conservation. Punkaharju Ridge. What if you could walk along the spine of an ancient shoreline left behind by the Ice Age? That's exactly what Punkaharju Ridge offers, one of Finland's most iconic and geologically significant landforms. This narrow, forest-covered ridge stretches about 7 kilometers through Lake Saimaa, forming a stunning natural causeway between two crystal-clear lake basins. It was formed around 10,000 years ago as a terminal moraine, where glacial meltwater deposited sand and gravel in long, narrow ridges. Today, it's a showcase of post-glacial landscape design, entirely shaped by nature. Punkaharju has been a beloved destination for centuries. Even Tsar Alexander I of Russia was so struck by its beauty during an 1802 visit. The ridge is a biodiversity hotspot, home to rare orchids, old-growth pines, and birds like the Eurasian pygmy owl and capercaillie. Because it sits between bodies of water, Punkaharju experiences unique microclimates, supporting both boreal forest species and more temperate flora. Today, Punkaharju is protected as a national landscape and is part of a larger conservation area that includes the Finnish Forest Museum Lusto and a research station of the Finnish Natural Resources Institute. Lake Saimaa. This lake is home to over 14,000 islands, one of the world's rarest seals, and a network of waterways so intricate it looks like lace from space. Lake Saimaa, the largest lake in Finland and the fourth largest natural freshwater lake in Europe, spanning the regions of South Karelia, South Savo, and North Savo. This glacially carved lake system is a masterpiece of post-Ice Age geology. It's not just a scenic retreat, it's a living laboratory of biodiversity and conservation. Lake Saimaa is the only habitat in the world for the Saimaa ringed seal, a critically endangered species that evolved in isolation after the last ice age, becoming landlocked as the Baltic retreated. In ancient times, the Saimaa region was a hub of Finnish tribal life, and artifacts from the Stone Age have been found along its shores. The lake also played a significant role during the Winter War and Continuation War, as Finnish forces used its complex island systems for naval maneuvers and supply routes. Today, Saimaa is a haven for boating, kayaking, and even ice road driving in winter. Villages like Savonlinna, with its medieval Olavinlinna castle, blend history with lakefront views. The Saimaa Canal connects the lake to the Baltic Sea via Russia, representing one of Finland's key inland water trade routes. Lietvesi. This lake in southeastern Finland is famed not only for its natural beauty but also for one of the country's most breathtaking stretches of highway, Route 62, which runs like a ribbon through a narrow chain of islands and ridges surrounded by shimmering water. Formed during the last ice age, Lietvesi is part of the Saimaa Lake system, carved into the bedrock by retreating glaciers and now filled with cold, crystal-clear water. The landscape is a patchwork of rocky outcrops, pine-covered slopes, and tiny forested islets, many untouched by human activity. The lake's water quality is among the cleanest in Finland, supporting species like Vendis, Zander, and even the rare freshwater mussel. Lietvesi is also a haven for migratory birds, with osprey and black-throated divers frequently spotted overhead. Today, Lietvesi offers an immersive nature experience without needing to stray far from your car. Yet it's best explored by canoe or on foot to truly grasp its silence and scale. Kilpisjärvi. This is a place where three countries meet, under the midnight sun, surrounded by Arctic tundra and ancient fells. Welcome to Kilpisjärvi, in the far northwestern arm of Finland known as the Finnish Arm or Käsivarsi. The area is famous for its Tunturi landscapes, rounded fells sculpted by Ice Age glaciers that rise starkly above the surrounding lowlands. The most famous peak, Sauna Fell, is sacred in Sami mythology and offers a demanding hike with some of Finland's most breathtaking views. Further into the wilderness lies Halti Fell, Finland's highest point at 1,324 meters, reachable only by a multi-day trek. The three-country cairn is a symbolic spot where the borders of Finland, Sweden, and Norway converge. This region is part of the Mulla Strict Nature Reserve, established in 1916 and one of the oldest protected areas in Finland. During World War II, this area was strategically important due to its proximity to Norway and Sweden, and saw troop movements and secret operations by German and Finnish forces. Today, Kilpisjärvi is a haven for Arctic research, bird migration studies, and reindeer herding, all within a UNESCO biosphere reserve. You can witness tundra flora, herds of semi-domesticated reindeer, and the striking contrast between snowfields and rocky slopes. In winter, the region is ideal for northern lights, while summer offers 24-hour daylight and a surreal sense of timelessness. Riisitunturi National Park. Did you know that in winter, Finland has trees that look like frozen ghosts? These hauntingly beautiful forms can be found in Riisitunturi National Park, one of the most surreal places in the country. Located in Posio, near the Arctic Circle, the park is famous for its tuklumi phenomenon, when heavy snow and frost coat the trees so thoroughly they resemble gigantic snow sculptures. But Riisitunturi is more than a winter wonderland. Established in 1982, the park protects high-altitude myrs, a rare wetland ecosystem that thrives in the cold uplands of Finnish Lapland. The fells, or tunturi, rise dramatically and offer panoramic views over Lake Kilpisjärvi and the surrounding taiga forest. Historically, the area has been used by reindeer herders, and old reindeer fences and herding trails can still be found throughout the park. In summer, you are rewarded with cloudberry-filled bogs, wildflowers, and serene hiking paths. Photographers, in particular, flock here for the dramatic lighting and atmospheric skies, while in winter, it's one of the best non-touristy spots to catch the northern lights. Riisitunturi is also used for climate research and ecological monitoring, making it not just beautiful, but scientifically important. This park proves that even frozen silence can speak volumes about nature's complexity. Lake Pielinen. This iconic landscape inspired an entire nation's identity. Lake Pielinen is not only one of the country's largest lakes, stretching over 120 kilometers north to south, but also a symbol of Finnish nature and national pride, immortalized in famous paintings by artist Eero Jarnefelt during the National Romantic era. Located in North Karelia, this glacial lake is framed by rugged ridges and dense boreal forests, with Koli National Park perched dramatically on its western shore. From the top of Ukokoli Hill, you can gaze out over Lake Pielinen's shimmering waters and island-studded horizon. A view so beloved that it has been called the soul landscape of Finland. But the lake's importance is more than scenic. It has played a major role in the region's economic and cultural development for centuries. Timber was once floated across its surface to sawmills, and local fishing traditions date back to prehistoric times. Archaeological findings show that Stone Age communities once settled along its shores, taking advantage of the rich natural resources. In winter, the lake often freezes solid, allowing ice roads to connect remote communities and drawing visitors who snowmobile, ski, or ice fish in near silence. The lake is also home to diverse wildlife, including rare birds like the black-throated diver and osprey, as well as endangered freshwater mussels. Today, Lake Pielinen is not only protected for its natural beauty, but also valued as a living classroom for geology, ecology, and Finnish heritage. Pallas-Yllästunturi National Park. What if we told you that the air in Pallas-Yllästunturi National Park is among the cleanest in the world? That's not just folklore. It's been scientifically measured. Situated in western Lapland and covering over 1,020 square kilometers, this park offers a rare mix of highland tundra, pristine boreal forests, and panoramic fells known as tunturit. Established in 1938, it was expanded in 2005 to include Illis, thus merging two beloved outdoor regions into one protected landscape. Historically, the fells of Pallas served as natural beacons and sacred sites for the Sami, who believe certain peaks hold spiritual significance. During World War II, German troops stationed in Lapland constructed bunkers and lookout posts in the area, some remnants of which still remain today as quiet war memorials. The park is a center for climate and air quality research, with a monitoring station at Sammaltunturi collecting data used in global environmental reports. Hikers can traverse the Hethapallas Trail, a 55 km journey through ridgetop views and untouched valleys, often greeted by reindeer or willow grouse along the way. Winter transforms the park into a snow-covered wonderland for cross-country skiing, snowshoeing, and aurora hunting. Korouoma Canyon and frozen waterfalls. This waterfalls freeze solid and still be considered among the most beautiful in the world. Located in Posio, Lapland, Korouoma Canyon is a 30-kilometer-long fracture valley formed millions of years ago by tectonic shifts. Its sheer cliff walls and plunging ravines make it one of Finland's most dramatic geological features. But it's in winter that Korouoma reveals its most magical secret: frozen waterfalls that hang like icy curtains from the canyon walls. These formations, such as Jaska Jokinen and Milikoski, attract ice climbers from across Europe, turning the park into a frozen playground for adventure seekers. The canyon is part of a protected nature reserve and is also home to lush spruce forests, rare mosses, and various owls and large mammals, including lynx and bears. Historically, Korouoma was used for logging and floating timber, and remnants of old logging cabins and flumes remain scattered throughout the park. In summer, hiking trails along the canyon's rim and floor reveal diverse flora and bird life. Hossa National Park. This is a lesser-known yet fascinating gem in eastern Finland, near the Russian border. The name Hossa comes from a Sami word meaning a place far away, fitting for a park prized for its tranquility. Officially designated as Finland's 100th anniversary gift to itself in 2017, Hossa is both a natural sanctuary and a cultural time capsule. Its most extraordinary feature is the Vuorikallio Cliffs, home to prehistoric rock paintings that are over 4,000 years old, depicting elk, shamanic figures, and symbols whose meanings remain a mystery. These are among the oldest known artworks in Finland. Hossa National Park in Finland is known for its stunning lakes and waterways, with approximately 130 lakes and ponds scattered throughout the park. The landscape here is a paradise of pine forests, eskers, and dozens of crystal-clear lakes fed by underground springs, ideal for canoeing, fishing, and swimming. Unlike many Finnish parks, Hossa allows for accessible trails and adaptive outdoor activities. It's also one of the few places where you might spot the elusive forest reindeer, a genetically distinct subspecies of reindeer. The park includes interpretive signs, archaeological displays, and recreated prehistoric dwellings that serve as open-air classrooms for learning about the Mesolithic era. Oulanka National Park. Have you ever walked along a trail where the landscape changes from roaring waterfalls to quiet pine forests, and from wild orchids to reindeer moss in a single afternoon? That's what you'll experience in Oulanka National Park, located in the northeastern region of Finland near the Russian border. Founded in 1956 and later expanded, this park is best known for the Karhunkierros Trail, a legendary 80-kilometer route considered one of the best long-distance hikes in Europe. Oulanka is part of a rare biogeographical zone called the Kuusamo Uplands, where Arctic, Siberian, and southern species converge, creating an astonishing level of biodiversity. Iconic sites include Kylläkognus Rapids, where red-hued dolomite cliffs flank thunderous water, and Oulanka Canyon, a dramatic ravine carved by glacial meltwaters. During World War II, the region surrounding Oulanka was of strategic importance and saw the movement of troops between Finland and the Soviet Union, leaving behind hidden bunkers and memorial sites. Today, Oulanka is part of the Pan Parks Network, a European initiative recognizing well-managed wilderness areas. The park also serves as a hub for scientific research, especially in botany and hydrology, and hosts nature trails with educational signage in multiple languages. Urho Kekkonen National Park. This is the untouched landscapes of Urho Kekkonen National Park in eastern Lapland. Named after Finland's long-serving president and outdoorsman Urho Kekkonen, who frequently hiked these trails himself, the park was officially established in 1983 and spans over 2,500 square kilometers, making it one of the largest protected areas in Europe. This is true Arctic wilderness, where ancient fells, treeless tundra, and birch woodlands stretch as far as the eye can see. One of its most fascinating aspects is its rich Sami heritage. The indigenous Sami people have used these lands for millennia for reindeer herding, fishing, and sacred ceremonies. The park's Tankavaara Gold Village, just outside its boundaries, offers a glimpse into Lapland's gold rush era, where hopeful prospectors flocked to the region in the 19th and 20th centuries. Today, you can still pan for gold or learn the old techniques in its museum. Wildlife is abundant. You might see a herd of reindeer, tracks of a lynx, or even rare Arctic birds like the Siberian jay. The park is a prime location for aurora borealis viewing in winter and midnight sun hiking in summer. With its network of wilderness huts, some dating back to traditional Sami shelters, the park is a living blend of ancient culture, unspoiled nature, and outdoor adventure. Archipelago of Porvoo. Stretching out from the historic town along the southern coast, the Archipelago of Porvoo is a rich natural landscape of rocky skerries, sheltered bays, and evergreen-draped islets shaped by retreating glaciers over 10,000 years ago. With more than 1,900 islands, this lesser-known part of Finland's Baltic coast is a sanctuary for seabirds, including terns, eiders, and the majestic white-tailed eagle. Its waters are dotted with eelgrass meadows and kelp forests, essential habitats for juvenile fish and a natural buffer against erosion. Many of the islands still host ancient fishing cabins and stone labyrinths, spiral-shaped rock patterns believed to have served ritual or navigational purposes. Because many islands are only accessible by boat, the region has remained relatively undisturbed, creating ideal conditions for kayaking, birdwatching, and scientific monitoring of coastal biodiversity. Sustainable tourism efforts are helping preserve its fragile ecosystems while offering nature trails and marine research stations. Åland Islands. The Åland Islands are unlike any other place in Finland. This unique archipelago, made up of around 6,700 islands in the Baltic Sea, lies between mainland Finland and Sweden. The archipelago is a result of post-glacial rebound, a process where the land, once heavily glaciated, slowly rises. This ongoing process, at about 5 millimeters per year, continues to shape the islands. The bedrock is primarily composed of Rapakivi granite, a distinctive reddish and pinkish granite with quartz crystals, which gives the rocks their characteristic color. You'll find beautifully polished, humped bedrock formations. Åland's climate, a humid continental type tempered by its maritime location, results in milder winters and cooler summers than its Nordic neighbors. This, combined with abundant sunshine, fosters a rich flora. The sea here is brackish, less salty than the ocean, which creates unique conditions for marine life like Baltic herring and bladderwrack algae. The Åland archipelago is also a key nesting ground for seabirds such as the common eider and the great black-backed gull. The islands have a special autonomous status granted after World War I under the League of Nations, allowing them to govern themselves while remaining part of Finland. Aulanko Nature Reserve. This one of Finland's most charming nature parks was inspired by 19th century romantic ideals and built to resemble a fairy tale landscape. Located in Hämeenlinna, Aulanko Nature Reserve is a unique blend of design beauty and natural forest, created as part of a landscape garden by Colonel Hugo Ståndurskjöld in the late 1800s. Unlike Finland's remote national parks, Aulanko is an example of early recreational landscaping, combining scenic viewpoints, walking paths, artificial ponds, and exotic plant species within a forested hill. At the center of the reserve stands the granite observation tower, built in 1907, offering sweeping views over Lake Lietvesi and the forest below, especially striking during autumn leaf color. Historically, Aulanko was built during Finland's national romanticism movement, when nature was celebrated as a key part of Finnish identity. The park also contains ruins styled after ancient temples, reflecting the period's fascination with antiquity. While Aulanko may be small compared to Finland's wilderness parks, it's a popular urban green space that merges history, culture, and conservation. The area was later designated as a nature reserve to protect both its native biodiversity and historic design. Educational programs, birdwatching towers, and family-friendly trails make Aulanko a key destination. So, you've made it to the end. Thanks for joining us on this journey through Finland's incredible natural wonders. If you enjoyed the ride, be sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. Tell us which part of Finland's wild side amazed you the most. Until next time, happy travels.